Okay, we're holding over here, page Gimel. We started the Maharal. We're at page Gimel, first column, second paragraph. Omri B'shu ben Levi. Borei kama gedolim nuvuchei ruach. See how great are those who are low-spirited. Low-spirited, meaning people are truly humble. The time the Beis Midrash stood, a person would bring an olah, burnt offering, scharola biyodo. He would receive credit for bringing an olah. Makriv mincha, schar mincha biyodo. Bring a meal offering, he'd receive credit for bringing a mincha. Aval misha dato shvelo, but a person who came to who was truly humble, malav koski luhikriv kol karbonos. Hashem valued it as if he brought all the karbonos. Shenemar, zivchei elokim ruach nishbora, that the sacrifice of elokim is ruach nishbora, a broken spirit. V'lo od, elo shein tfiloso nimeses, the person who's low spirit, who's an onov, his tefillah will never be detested. Shenema leiv nishra v'nitke elokim lo sivzeh, the broken-hearted and smattered heart, elokim lo sivzeh, Hashem will not be mevazeh, will not disgrace. Now, I had mentioned many times the name of the Shaloch that Elokim is always Midas Adin. Korbanos is Midas Arachmi. Leiv Nishra v'nitke Elokim lo sivzeh, that even the Midas Adin will not reject that person. Korbanos, only it's Korban Lashem. Without Midas Arachmi, there's no such thing as Korban, even if you do tshuva. But a person who's truly broken, truly humble, truly, as he will explain, is negated to Hashem, where I don't exist, it's only you, even the Midas Adin will not prosecute and will accept that person's actions. Pirush davazeh ki misherucho nishboro, person who's broken, his spirit is broken, kidhu mivatal atzmo min hametzius, like he doesn't exist. Legamri, v'dava'atzmo kol karbonos. He says, and that's the whole concept of karbonos. I once said, what is the concept of tefillah with a test and a base? Going to the mikveh, person's contaminated. Torah says that if he immerses himself in a mikveh, or a body of water which qualifies to relieve him of his tumah, he's relieved. Correct? So, but what's the concept? Here you tameh, and now all of a sudden by immersing yourself, fully immersing yourself in the water, you relieve yourself of the tumah except for tumas mes. Except you need poraduma, come in contact with dead boy. What is the concept? We say on the davening on Yom Kippur, a person is cheres hanishbar. We're like a broken earthenware vessel. What is a person? Our physicality is earthen. The body its origin is earth, right? So it's susceptible for tumah. Now the Torah says, how does one purify an earthenware vessel? Cannot. Right? Any other vessel is immersed in the mikveh, it has to be broken. Right? It says, Yishaver, it has to be broken. So how does he purge himself of spiritual contamination? He has to be broken. Right? He's broken. That's how it's done. So therefore, the way it was, Ruach Elokim, it's Leiv Nishma v'nitke Elokim lo sivzeh. If you're broken and you're smattered, I am this. If you're that, then what? Then whatever you've done wrong, that remains with you. Is what to prosecute. But if you're broken, that's taking the earthenware vessel and breaking it. But what's the concept of going to the mikveh, even though this doesn't work? I'd once mentioned that Maharal, regarding the dream of Daniel, he had dreamt about the 4 exiles. And it says that every one of these animals that he had seen in his dream came in from the ocean. So he says, what does the ocean represent? So the Maharal says, this is the beginning of his work on Purim. The Maharal writes over there, if you have an armada of ships on the ocean, what are they? They're considered nothing, because versus the ocean, is whatever, since man's location is not the ocean, it's like you're negated by the ocean. You're like you're just specks on the water, that's all you are. So, because a person's location is not the ocean. So, a person is never secure in water. Water is a location that man has no existence in water. That's the idea. So coming in means you're coming from a non-existent state into an existent state. That's why he explains the dream of Daniel. They have come. They're coming from the ocean into existence. So what I said was, if a person doesn't exist in water, a person can't live in water, meaning where you're totally submerged in the water. If you go to the mikveh, you have as little as one hair sticking out of the water, what's the halacha? It's not a valid tefillah. Right? He has to be fully submerged in the water. If as much as an iota is out of the water, it's not valid. Right, Howard? Howard goes to the mikveh every Friday and what other days? So it's not valid. Because what's the whole idea? Because when you emerge, you submerge, you go into a non-existent state. So the reason why you're tummy is because you're this, but what happens when you're totally submerged in water? You're going to a non-existent state. So now, when you come out, you're coming out as a new being. You went into a non-existence, now you're coming into existence. As a result of that, that's the reason why you're relieved of the contamination that you had before. So this is even more so. There the person exists as a person. He's coming out as he went in. Here, if it's ruach, is lev nishra v'nivkeh, a broken, smattered heart, you're a broken person. That's taking the vessel and smashing it. It's no longer the vessel. No longer being the vessel, therefore Hashem embraces that person. Even Midas Adin has no basis to prosecute that individual. To be continued. Not the purpose. Karbanos are only valued because of Midas Arachmi. If not Midas Arachmi, Karbanos would have no value. What do you mean? We're taking you in the place of the animal, your place. You deserve to die. That's Midas Adin. There are no Karbanos. First of all, there are no Karbanos. That's number one. It says only Toda. Baruch Ato Adon. Oh, yeah. There's a work on Purim. It's called, I forgot what it's called. There's a sefer specifically on Megillah Esther.
The fact that Moshe Rabbeinu was one of the is that why all these tefillahs were accepted?
That's why Moshe, there's a what's it called? There's Or Chaim. He's called Ish Elokim. He was the only one who was able to stand up to Midas Adin. Moshe Rabbeinu. Even the Ovos HaKadoshim, they weren't perfect enough to stand up to Midas Adin. Moshe was Ish Elokim. Because he was negated, totally negated. You know, David had a grandchild. David, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. What's the name?